Hi guys, okay, so if you've watched one of my previous videos, I did the chronic illness tag part 1. It was done by Laurie Fike, who is also a chronic illness sufferer, and it's just brilliant. So there's a lot of questions, and to answer them properly I felt the need to split it into 2. If you haven't watched part 1 already, look in the description box below, I will leave a link for it. Watch that first, then come back and watch this one. So I'm going to basically just carry on from where I left off. So, question 12. Okay, what is the biggest injustice about living with a chronic illness? The biggest injustice is having to prove that you're ill all the time, because like today, I have makeup on, I'm feeling a bit better. I've managed to make myself look human and alive and not Walking Dead extra. And if I'm seen by someone, especially if I was done up and I'd gone out and I've seen someone that I've not seen for a long time, they see me like this and go, "Oh, what are you doing now?" And I'll go, "Oh, I'm not working actually, because I'm really struggling with the condition I've got." The sceptical eyebrow is there immediately, and they won't necessarily say it, some people will, but that eyebrow lift alone is enough to make you feel about this big and this important. And yeah, it just really stresses me out that because I look a certain way, people assume I'm just a doll dosser that's just sponging off the government and all this lot. But what they don't see is that I may have spent half an hour out doing something, and I will spend about 4 days crippled for it, and I can't lift a spoon, and my other half has to physically feed me. This happens a lot, and again, a lot of people that know me might not know the full extent of how bad my symptoms are, but yes, I have days where Thumper has to cut my food up for me and feed me it like a child. I have to have help getting in and out of the bath some days. So yeah, I might look normal and happy and fine on the day you see me, but it's certainly not the full story. Question 13. What is the worst advice you have been given about your health? Well, first of all, when I was first ill and I was saying how much pain I was in, I was told, just take paracetamol, that will fix it. Just keep taking them until the pain stops. Yeah, so I was expected to take something over and over again that they don't actually advise you take over and over again, because they didn't know what to do with me. Overall, it's quite difficult to actually pick the worst advice I've had, because it amazes me sometimes how little the professionals know about my condition compared to how much I know. And yes, I should know about it, I've got it. If you have something and you don't try and learn and understand it, yeah, okay, fine. But when the professionals know less than what I know, just from Googling stuff and researching a little bit, it's a little bit worrying that you're kind of handing your body over to these people and being told to take several multiple medications and just take them trustingly. And I certainly struggle with that. I had one really good doctor recently, and I've never seen her again since, and it was so frustrating because she knew what I had, she knew what fibromyalgia was, and when I actually showed her what medication I was on and I was due a top up on certain ones, first of all, because I have thrombosis, one of the tablets I was on, I won't name them because I'm not a professional and therefore I can't say, don't you take it, because this will happen. Everyone's different and everyone's got a whole different rack of symptoms, so let's not go into that black hole. But either way, I showed her my medication list, and straight away she says, "Why are you on this one?" I says, "Oh, well, my doctor previously gave it me." And it turns out it could really screw up thrombosis, and it made sense. My hips had been going really numb while I'd been taking it, and my circulation was terrible, and that would be why. So yeah, I can't actually pinpoint one particular one, and that's the honest truth. Question 14. What items related to your illness could you not cope with? So I have various items around my house that I use to aid me, and I need to remake this video actually because I made it a little while ago and I was fairly new to making my videos, and looking back on it I'm not happy with the quality of that video. But I have, for instance, in the bathroom, Thumper built a step so that climbing in and out of the bath is a little bit less difficult, and not only that, I have a handle for support, so if I feel like I'm slipping I can grab it. I also have a shower seat in there that is a lightweight one that can be moved around. Like I say, I will do a video on this and go into these items a lot more detailed, but certainly the bathroom ones, because I now sort of struggle to get in and out of the bath, especially if I'm having a flare up and I go for an Epsom salt bath or whichever, and it means I can actually lower myself in a bit better. I might not be able to get myself out afterwards once my muscles have all melted away in the bath, but it just means I don't have to get help in and out of the bath. It limits how much I'm having to ask for help, so that's definitely something I wouldn't be able to live with. And quite possibly Susan. If you've seen my videos before, you will know what I mean by Susan. Susan is my walking stick. I named it as a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that I was having to use a walking stick. But now I just find it quite cute and amusing that I'm still calling it Susan. I don't call it my stick. Even Thumper, if we are going anywhere, or my friend when she comes to pick me up, will say, "We're taking Susan today." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will think I am mental. I am a little, but we don't need to discuss that. So yeah, Susan. I couldn't live without Susan. Question 15. Can you remember being pain-free? Okay, so yes and no. Cryptic. Yes, I can remember what it felt like to be pain-free. And do I miss those days? Yes. Do I physically remember what it feels like to be pain-free? Less and less, I find. I have days where I'm better and I think, oh brilliant, that feels great today. And then something else will just click and crack, and then it's okay, no, I've still got pain. I've not got away with it today. So it has been a very long time since I haven't felt any pain at all. I might not have all my symptoms kicking off, but you can guarantee at least one or two of them on a really good day. But I've always got some symptom to deal with, and yeah, it's been a while. I couldn't honestly say I remember being pain-free, which is just ridiculous, really, but it's the truth. Question 16. Do you know anyone in real life who shares your condition? So, yes, I do. I know multiple people online, like Fibromom and a few different others, and Laurie Fike is one as well. I do know people in real life, like real human beings I've met in person that have it. I know one person that has it that I'm still in touch with. Although when I went to pain management, I have to say I was really shocked at how many people had fibromyalgia that were there, because one of my anxiety attacks about this pain management I was going to do was that I would be the only one that had fibromyalgia in the entire room, and I would have to explain to people what my condition was instead of having to actually get the therapy that I was there for. Yet when I walked in there, I would say a good 40% of the room actually had fibromyalgia. So I have physically met people with fibro. There is a few groups that I am on online that meet up regularly. As of to this day, I still haven't been to one yet because I've either not been well enough or I've actually had something else on, or I couldn't get there. So I still have not yet been to one of these meetups, and I do plan on doing it, so please don't stop inviting me, because one of these days I will definitely be there. But yes, I do know someone that has fibro, and she has had it for a very long time, so I can actually go to this person for support, and it's a mutual friend between me and Thumper, so it's quite nice. We can go around, hang out. There are days we don't talk about fibro at all. We will just randomly have any conversation we feel like having. And then we have our days where we will sit and I can say, do you have this kick off every so often? And it'll be, oh yeah, I've had that for years. And it just settles that anxiety down a little bit, but it's also a bit of support for my friend as well. So yes, I do know people that have it. 17. One symptom you would love to not have. The constant pain. I think if it was a case of 1 month I had one symptom kick off, and then a bit of a break, and then another symptom, I'd probably deal with that a lot better than I can deal with this, because as I say, every day I have at least 1 or 2 things kicking off. On really bad days, everything kicks off, and the constant pain is so hard to deal with mentally as well as physically. It's tiring, and again that applies to both, because you have to try and stay strong to keep fighting against it and just living a half normal life to what you used to have. So yeah, I would definitely have the constant pain gone if I could get rid of one symptom. Number 18. Nice things said to you and something negative said to you about being sick. So I've had people tell me how brave I am. Certainly since I've had my YouTube channel, you guys are so supportive of me, and you tell me how strong I make you feel and how normal I can help you feel, and that to me is massive, because that's exactly why I wanted this channel in the first place, and I'm just really proud that I've actually achieved that. And I've only been doing it a year now, I think, not even quite a year, so it's not bad. I'm pretty proud of that. And I get told how strong I am by Thumper all the time, and as much as I don't believe it most days, it's nice to hear it, sort of thing. Something negative said to you about being sick. Yeah, I've had people say, well, it can't be all the time, and you can't possibly be in that much pain, you're far too young, or oh well, you're starting to age, and it's just all the negative crap that people can come out with that you have to deal with, and they don't necessarily mean it in a negative light. Sometimes it is meant in a negative light, but there are times where people are only trying to help, but when you hear it all the time, it's really difficult to kind of, thanks, yeah, great. Eventually you just want to dunk your head in a sandpit and just hide away, because it's hard having to hear these things all the time. So yes, that's definitely something to bear in mind. Question 19. Is your family supportive or ignorant to your condition? So they are supportive of me, definitely. When I first came off ill and it was first all starting to kick off properly, it was just misunderstood, and it was a case of, oh, you'll get better soon. And yeah, I think now my family are realising that actually this isn't going away, this isn't getting better, because there isn't a cure, there isn't treatments available as such yet, and it's all still being investigated, which means I have to sit and wait until these answer comes about and start spreading some awareness, so people actually want to make things better for us. But no, I know for a fact that my parents have been looking up what my condition is and what it means and things like that, so I kind of have to answer less health questions when I see them, because they live in Hong Kong. I don't see them very much at the moment, but certainly at Christmas time it was more about how things were in general rather than how's the condition. So yes, definitely supportive and definitely trying to learn as much as I am, so that's always nice. I think I do have some family that don't really know what I have and don't really know how to deal with it when they see me the next time and I haven't seen them for months on end, and then when they ask me how I am, or, oh, you're better now, are you back at work? I'm like, no. And it's funny because as people understand it more, they kind of can take over that side of the conversation for me because they know how tired I am of it. So, yeah, definitely taking the time, but we're getting there, slowly but surely. Question number 20. Describe the feeling after walking up and down stairs. So, I mean, on my staircase, there aren't that many stairs, and my knees feel as though I have walked up the Eiffel Tower again. I did that a long time ago, and there was a lot of steps to get to the top, and it just feels like I am on a rotating step machine that just won't stop. And by the time I reach the top, have you ever been on a trampoline and bounced for that little bit too long, and when you come off, your knees are you still feel like you're bouncing? Yeah, that's how I feel when I go up and down stairs, and that's just on a better day. That's not even on a worse day. On worse days, I can look at a set of stairs and they look like they are this steep to me, like they are practically vertical, and I'm climbing a ladder to get upstairs. So they don't happen. I stay upstairs. And yeah, so it ranges from too long on a trampoline to I cannot climb this ladder. That is how I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it. Question 21. Any natural supplements, powders or alternative treatments you would recommend? So, one that I would definitely recommend that is my all-time favourite is I like to make a bath, hot bubble bath, because when I shower my skin goes absolutely insane. There is a name for the effect it has and I can't remember it, but it's basically where your senses and nerves get so wound up by the repeated hitting of the water that you will end up tingly and itchy after a shower. So a lot of the time I will either sink wash or bath because I just suffer far too much having had a shower, which is ridiculous. Plus you can lose your balance in the shower and all these wonderful exciting things can happen. So yes, one of my favourite things now is I like to make a nice hot bubble bath. I put a little bit of like a mentholy type bath liquid. What's the word? Bath gel. I put a cup worth of Epsom salts in and a cup worth of pink Himalayan salt into my bath and lie in it and soak with it, and it basically it kind of tingles at first. If you're not used to it, it's definitely worth trying a smaller amount and seeing how you cope. But I know that when I've had an Epsom salt bath, I feel so much better. It doesn't last forever, but I can certainly get out the bath and have a few hours where I feel a lot better than I did before. So yeah, definitely Epsom salts. I haven't really tried any other mystic medicine man methods at the moment, but I'm definitely interested in knowing what everyone else does. So if you do anything in particular, let me know. And the final question, I can't believe I've actually got through them all. So, question 22. What is the biggest thing you would like people to know about your illness? So, I think the biggest thing that I would like people to know is that it isn't going to go away. And certainly not in the next 5-10 years, because they haven't properly started researching into it yet, and you can guarantee it will be a very long process before you get any kind of answer about how to stop or help your condition. So I think, yeah, it would just take away that stigma, like I say, of if I haven't seen someone for such a long time, that they don't understand why I'm still ill, because when they saw me 7 months ago, I wasn't well then, and I'm not better now. And they can't seem to understand that when I say it's a lifelong chronic illness, it's incurable. Now when people say, what is it you have? And I say fibromyalgia. And when I get the blank look, I kind of now say, well, basically it's a lifelong, incurable, chronic fatigue and chronic pain syndrome, and that seems to kind of be enough at the moment to give a mild understanding of what it is I have. And they still don't understand, obviously, because even I don't understand it, and I've had it 3 years now and I'm still learning about this damn awful condition I have. But I think that's just the biggest thing, is that the people that I'm around just know that likelihood is I'm probably going to be worse next time you see me rather than better. I might be the same, or like I say, probably worse, because in the last 3 years my symptoms have seriously kicked up a level, and yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I'd like them to know. But I'm still me as much as I can be, and yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing I want them to know, is that it is a real thing, it's an invisible illness, and it isn't going anywhere. So yeah, that is my biggest thing I would like them to know. So yes, that is it for the chronic illness tag. I have managed to get through all the questions. I'm quite impressed with myself there. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, look below in the description box. I will leave a link for the original chronic illness tag where I first saw it. And like I say, I didn't copy it. It was invited that you do a video response. So here's mine. And yes, all my contact details are in the description box below. It's pretty much where I put anything important, really. But yes, if you're not subscribed already, please do, because this family is growing quick. I'm quite impressed with it all. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you again soon, guys. Bye.
My mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king, and my papa told me it's okay to say when shit hurts, don't forget your dreams, 'cause they'll get